Hi, welcome to IELTS PTE Success. I'm Jyoti, and today we are going to be discussing the IELTS General Training Task 1, which is a letter. Now, if you're new to our channel, please do hit on the subscribe button for more videos, tips, and tricks from us. And in case you want to subscribe for a course or sign up for a course, you can please write to us or visit us on our website, and we will be happy to help you out. So, what are we going to be discussing today? We will discuss what is writing task 1 about, which is basically a letter. What are the different types of letters that you can get in the exam? What is the structure or the format that you have to follow to write a letter? And in the end, personal tips from us that you can use to get that best possible score in your letter writing task in the IELTS exam. So let's begin with what is task 1 about. As we know, task 1 is a letter writing task. You are expected to write this task in 20 minutes, even though the whole writing test lasts for an hour. Since the letter writing task carries half the amount of marks of writing task 2, you are expected to finish this in 20 minutes so that you can have the maximum amount of time for writing task 2. And writing task 2 carries double the amount of marks of writing task 1. Hence, it is better to finish this task first and then move on to your writing task 2. Since this carries half the marks, so are the word limit is also on the lower side. It is only 150 words, whereas in writing task 2, it is a minimum of 250 words. Now, what are you supposed to do in this task? You must follow every instruction that is given to you on the question paper. Also, do begin your writing section with this task that gets your thoughts flowing and you are able to concentrate and do better in your task too. You must answer every part of the question. Now, when a letter writing question comes, you get a part of question and then it is divided into three subparts. You must answer every part of the question so that you can get your full marks. If you do not answer even one part of the question, you will not get the full marks that you are expecting. Now, since this is a letter writing task, there are a variety of letters that you can practice with because you can get any one out of those in your exam. The two most broad categories are informal and formal. Yes, the exam expects you to write in formal English, but you can have an informal letter, but that does not mean you use informal language. Now, these two letters are categorized into further more subcategories, which are these. It could be giving or requesting information. For example, giving information or giving instructions to your friend to come visit you, or requesting information from a university. Complaint could be writing maybe to an airlines or a company complaining about their service or a product. Good or bad news. This could be writing a letter to your relative or somebody at your workplace, informing them about some good or bad news. Describing could be describing a holiday or your home, new apartment, or a restaurant. Advising or suggestions are mostly giving advice to a friend or a relative or giving suggestions for improving the public library. Relating an event could be something about an incident or some accident or even describing, going on a holiday and what happened on it. Now there are different varieties of letters, and you must try and practice one out of each category so that you are familiar with what type of question comes, what is the kind of information they are expecting out of you, and how you should form your letter so that you can write the most readable and most understandable form of letter, and the examiner finds it easy to score your letter. So, while we've discussed what are the types of letters, you are also expected to follow a format or follow a structure for writing your letter. Now, what is this format? Now, this is ideally how your letter should be spaced out and how you should write your letter. Most questions will give you the name to begin your letter with. So if the question says, please start your letter as Dear Miss Jackson, please do start your letter as Dear Miss Jackson and not as Dear Mrs. Thomas. Always, if they do not give you a name, then come up with one yourself. What is the body? Body is basically after your question, there are those three sub questions. You have to answer them in paragraphs. So the first part of the question would be introducing yourself and answering part one of the question or as to why you're writing this letter. The second paragraph would be the second part of the question. The third paragraph would be the third part of the question. You must write these in paragraphs so that it is easy for the examiner to read what you have written and comprehend it. Now, then comes the conclusion of the letter. A lot of people get confused that is the conclusion supposed to be a fourth paragraph or is it supposed to be a part of the third paragraph? Don't get confused here. These are final words that you use to close your letter. So this should not be longer than a line or two. This is not a complete paragraph. And yes, this must be written separately from your last paragraph. It is usually words like I look forward to hearing from you. I will be extremely grateful if you can fulfill my request at the earliest. You know, these kind of words when you're writing to someone so that your letter does not close very abruptly. You have written parts of the question, but you must have one polite line while ending your letter. Closing salutation, again, very, very important. You must write regards, irrespective of whom you're writing to, and sign off with yours sincerely if you're writing a formal letter, and yours faithfully if you're writing an informal letter, along with your name. Don't put in a signature, especially if you're giving an online IELTS exam, you can't put a signature, but you must write down your name, or if they have given you a name, write that particular name. So that is the structure of a letter. You must follow this format. Only then can you get the maximum marks. So your letter should start with dear, different parts of the question addressed in different paragraphs, final words of your letter, and then your closing salutation. Moving on to the end of our video today or our lesson, which is writing tips given to you by us. Now, the most important part is whenever you start your writing section, don't immediately start writing. You have to give yourself some time to plan your answer, write, and always check your answer. So, if you want, you can follow this trick. Spend 5 minutes planning your answer. Write down in bullet points what all information are you expected to give out in this. Spend 10 minutes writing your complete answer or typing it out. The last 5 minutes is when you spend checking your answer. Look for any mistakes. Look for what part of the question did you not answer. Often, when we read our answers again, we will find many mistakes which the examiner will find the first time that they read your answer. So, you must keep some time to check what you have written. Answer every part of the question so that you can get complete marks for your task response. If you miss out any one part of the question, you will not get complete marks. Always write full, formal, and complete sentences. Don't try to write in short forms. Don't use the and symbol or write government as govt dot. That is not acceptable. This is an English exam. Even though if the letter is an informal one, that does not permit you to use informal language or abbreviations that are not used in the formal sense. Always write formal and complete sentences. Do focus on your spellings, your grammar, and your punctuation. These are very, very important along with your vocabulary and your task response because if you make a lot of spelling mistakes, it shows lack of fluency. If you don't put in punctuation, you have not written complete and proper sentences. And of course, grammar is a very, very big part of this. If you write grammatically incorrect sentences, you're not going to get great marks. Don't exceed your word limit. Yes, write 150 words, but don't write maybe more than 200 words in the letter because even though they have given you a minimum word limit, there is no formal maximum, but don't write more than 50 words. don't exceed more than 50, because there isn't that much to write when you get a letter. Always space your paragraphs. It is very important so that the examiner can comprehend what you have written. They have many, many papers and many, many writing tasks to check. So they don't have so much time to go through everyone's answers so patiently. And if you don't write neatly, supposing you're writing a written exam, or you have not spaced out your answers in paragraphs, then the examiner is going to find it tough to read and comprehend your answer, and you are going to lose marks. So always remember, these are your most important tips apart from following the instructions given by the question and following the format. So that brings us to the end of our writing task one general training video. If you have any questions, please do write to us in the comments below, or you can always reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram. You can email us or visit us on our website, and we will be happy to help you out with it. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon with future writing task videos. Bye. Thank you for watching.